pops up, even your 30-day storage cost, so you can tell that that one pair of shoes is going to cost me 17 cents a month if it doesn't sell.
Okay.
And right here links to your account and tells you if you're if it's restricted or not. It'll say it says something else if you're restricted. I can't remember, but that green sell new means that I'm okay to sell it in new. So it's connected through my Amazon Seller Central. And then this variation viewer, this green box, comes with Rev Seller. And it's especially useful with shoes and clothing because of all the variations. So if you click on it, it brings up all the sizes and colors based on reviews. So it pulls all these 133 customer reviews and separates them out by size and color so you can see which one is most popular. And that's one of the ways to see which one is causing most of the sales. Like I said, there's tools that allow you to see and make an estimated guess as to which ones are selling, since 5,938 rank is based on the entire parent ASIN. So it's all of these variations. So like this one, you can tell that size 8 sells really well, which is common in a linen shoe. And then this particular one is the black pink Persian jewel variation, which is actually this one that I'm on with the blue and pink on the bottom of the shoe. So that would be, if you found that one, you definitely want to buy it because it's selling the most. And then down here, you can see the in-stock variations versus out-of-stock variations, which is another important concept because only the in-stock variations are currently affecting that rank. The 18 out-of-stock ones are not because they're out of stock, they're not selling. And what a lot of scanner apps show is just the total amount of variations. Right here, it's not that big of a fluctuation. It's only by 18 variations. So it'd be 108 versus 90. But sometimes there's only like 3 in stock out of 50 total. So it's good to know that total in stock. Because if you had this rank, let's say it was 50,000 in the rank, and you saw that it had 50 variations, but you couldn't see the in-stock variations, you would be like, nah, I'm not going to buy this. Too many variations. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
Family.
But if you could see that there was only 3 in stock out of the 50, then you would know that only 3 items are making that 50,000 rank, or whatever the rank is. And
so that would be a definite buy. 50,000 rank with only 3 active variations.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. Absolutely. Let's see. That's it for this. Unless anybody on my chat up, does anybody have any questions regarding the live examples?
Let's see. Chat seems to be pretty quiet right now. You guys, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. Make sure you clicked it down.
We're checking the chat. We don't see any questions, but guys, remember, throw your questions in here so we can ask them to our panelists.
Here's one.
Janet mentioned, is there any way that you have been able to use Rev Seller on your phone?
Oh, I wish.
No, yeah, I wish.
Yeah, that would be great, man.
I have been able to use, there's a portion of tactical arbitrage which does similar stuff. I've been able to pull that up on my phone using Safari or Google Chrome. It's not as phone friendly as like an app, but I am able to put an ASIN in there and then it pulls the reviews and shows me, just like Rev Seller showed on that variation viewer, it shows me which reviews and variations are most prominent. But it's a little more time consuming. You have to open up the website on the Safari and then go to tactical arbitrage and go to that part of tactical arbitrage and put in the ASIN. Yeah, I wish it was in an app similar to Scoutify or something.
Can you use Rev Seller on a phone browser or no?
No, it's a Google Chrome extension
on
a website. Yeah.
Okay. Here's another question. See, Joshua mentioned variation software. What software would give the child BSR? Helium 10 or some others?
Mainly when I was talking about RevSeller, the one that we just went over. And then Scan Power has an option to show in-stock variations as well. If you use the Scan Power app, it's a paid version of that app, but it separates it out. So like when you scan a shoe, it'll say 9 in stock and 25 out of stock.
Okay. Is there any tool that will actually give you the rank of a child variation?
No, not that I found.
Yeah, me either.
Amazon's API only releases the rank for the whole ASIN. For shoes and clothing, there are some categories that they do release the rank for each variation, but not shoes and clothing.
You could probably do a proportion by looking at the best. I mean, that the rank is going to represent the best product probably. If it's a real low rank, let's say it's got like 53 reviews, you could probably look at some of the other variations and do a proportion on that. Does that make sense? And you can use that proportion to allocate rank on the other products.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it makes sense. We got another question. This is from Karen. Can you tell me in stores like Ross or Marshalls, there are no UPC codes to scan? So what do you do with them?
I scan UPCs in those stores.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah.
A lot of UPCs
on their receipt, they don't report their UPC. They report their own SKU number. So we take photos of all those items with the store tag, because that's what references to the receipt. So if we have to prove an authentics or something like that. But
okay.
But everything, we don't buy anything. Well, for shoes and clothing, we don't buy anything unless it has a manufacturer tag with UPC on it, just for authenticity.
Okay. So a case like Marshalls or Ross, maybe she's just referring to the store UPC code. So you don't scan those, you scan the actual UPC from the manufacturer.
Right.
Okay. Janet is asking, tell us how to use tactical arbitrage on your phone.
Okay. If I could actually pull it up. Probably.
That might be a whole webinar right there.
It might be. I could get. I don't know what's going on with my computer screen. Can you guys see that? There we go.
Yeah, we can see yours.
Yeah, I mean, if Chris, the administrator, doesn't mind, I know we have a time crunch as well. But yeah, I can bring it up. So if you go to tactical arbitrage, do some quick math here, like they like to do. So it's over on the analysis tab, and it looks the same on the phone. You know, it's just a lot smaller and weirdly formatted the way some websites look on mobile. But then you go to product variations right here and put in the ASIN. There's an example of one that I've done before, and fetch information. And it does the same thing as that RevSeller product variation option. So it's going to pull 7 pages of reviews, and then it categorizes them out to color and sizes and tells you the most commonly bought one based on reviews. And I've heard, I don't know for sure, but I've heard that it's a safe guesstimate that one review is at about 100 sales. So,
I've heard that as well.
And this was a bad example. I forgot that one was that one was an item that had the variation was listed as material instead of colors.
Huh.
It won't pull it up. I don't know why. Like material type. I'm sure you've seen that when you do variations, Chris.
Yeah, I guess that's an option. I've never used it.
Yeah, so they put all their variations for their shirts of that one that I was looking at as material type instead of color. So
goofy.
Tactical arbitrage was like, I don't know what to look for. But now you can see this one. It had 5 pages of reviews, and then it shows you the most popular ones. Like this particular shoe, 9.5 black, white, cool gray, was 9.8% of all the reviews.
Wow.
Scroll all the way down and it conglomerates it into colors and sizes.
Okay.
So you can see 12 is the most common size ordered for this shoe, and black, white, cool gray is the most common color. So it's the same information that the Rev Seller variation tool gave. But I've been able to do this on my phone, like while in a Nike or something. Just
wow.
see if what I'm looking at is like terrible. Like if there were this many reviews and the one I was looking at had none, then I probably wouldn't buy it.
Mm.
But yeah, does that answer the question about tactical arbitrage?
It does for me.
Okay. Let's see my chat window. Oh, there it is.
Okay, looks like okay, yeah, she said yes.
Cool.
Okay, good. Okay.
Let's see if I can get this PowerPoint slide back up.
All right, and where were we at? I can't remember.
Right here. So we did that.
Okay, yep.
And then sizes and seasonality is, I mean, most people are aware of this kind of thing, but we'll go over it. Sizes that are best for men's shoes that I found, we do the best at 9.5 or 9.5 to 12. But I do often buy 13s, 14s, and 15s because a lot of bigger guys can't find them in stores, or they don't want to go out and find them because they have to go to specialty stores. And so they shop online for those. So we do pretty well with those as well. And then for women's shoes, I stick between 7 and 10. And then we also sometimes go to 11 and 12 for that same reason, that we're seeing that more women are buying higher sizes and they're harder to find in normal stores. So they go online to find those. And that goes with clothing as well. We've had recent luck finding like XXL, XXX sizes, and we started buying them and sending them in, and they sell almost immediately.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
People are either, unfortunately embarrassed to go out and buy them and try them on, or they just can't find them. And so they shop online.
Yeah.
Of their own home. That's what the world's turning into. But for men's clothing, we do everything except for small. Anything I buy small seems to just sit around. And same with women's clothing, the extra smalls seem to just sit around. So small through, double XL does well on women's. And then seasons, not only weather seasons, but sport seasons are important because people buy cleats based on the sport, football, soccer, baseball, and they buy shoes and clothing based on the sport. So you're going to sell different clothing during football and soccer season and basketball season than you will during baseball. And then golfing shirts and golfing pants get really hot during the spring and summertime. So paying attention to that makes a big difference.
Hey, Josh, I have a comment in here. Someone is saying that the PowerPoint presentation is small in their screen and then your face is large.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know. Isn't that scary? But it should be reversed. For me, it looks normal. I'm seeing the large PowerPoint.
I wonder if they have, is there a way that they have it selected on their screen by accident that way?
I'm not sure. Okay, I got another comment. It's fine here. Mikhail, how's it look on your side? She's saying nope, she didn't touch it. It's fine.
Yeah, what you see.
Okay, so if they click on
my face,
it should switch it around.
Use my nose or something.
Too small for me too. Okay. It was that way for me too, now reversed. Okay, so someone's saying, click on his face and it should switch it. Okay, I didn't know that. I had to double click on the little image and it switched them. Someone else is saying that.
Yeah, it's making the speaker's image your primary view for some reason.
Okay, double click did it. It worked. Thank you. Fixed it. Okay. Okay. Technical issue resolved. Love it.
Yeah, so sports seasons are just as important as weather seasons. And then weather stuff, different weather times, sell all year. We will sell our winter stuff all the way through summer, but it definitely has a lot more velocity during the winter time. So you don't need to pull stuff out, but you should buy based on, you know, what season it is, what time of year. Otherwise stuff will sit and not sell as fast. Have you guys found that as well, Chris and Mikal?
Yeah, I've experienced the same thing. Like right now, I'm selling a lot of kids swimwear, and you know, it just came out in the stores too. But I think, you know, people are got spring break on their minds and getting ready to go, maybe travel somewhere warm. And so, any leftover swimwear that I had from last summer that I bought last summer is selling right now. It's kind of interesting.
Right. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Stuff that I didn't bother taking out.
Yep.
When winter happened, starting to sell now. Swimsuits and short sleeve shirts and stuff.
Yes.
Let's see.
For me, the swimsuit starts selling really good in January.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in January.
And February was the best month for swimming suits, actually.
Yeah.
And March is very good too.
They're all
And
getting
from
ready for the
experience,
summer, huh?
Yeah, so for selling swimsuit for maybe 5 years now, the best months are January to March. Those are the best months.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Because you can't get them in the store. You know, they're not available in the store, so you can go online and get them.
Right.
All right, there's a question here. What do you think about selling new brand or private label brand of men's shoes in leather and PU? I'm not sure what that is.
What is PU?
I'm not sure.
What PU is either. I don't do any private label. We have found new brands through wholesale, but we've just started doing that in the last month. So I couldn't really talk on it. Mikhail might be able to touch on that more.
I don't have experience with men's shoes, but I do have a private labeling for kid shoes, and that's selling very well.
Interesting. Okay, Josh, you're going to talk about outlets here?
Yeah.
All right.
So probably about 60%, 70% of my RA is done at the outlets, and the rest is at the off-price stores. So we have probably 5 different factory outlet stores within an hour of us here where we live. So I know most metropolitan areas have quite a few, at least 2 or 3. So they're great areas. Nike, if you're unrestricted, or if you ever do get unrestricted, I think it takes time on your account with a good standing. They're great. They're always friendly. They're reseller friendly. They're tax exempt if you have a reseller permit or tax exemption permit in your state.
Nice.
They do accept that. And they have shoes and clothing and backpacks, and just about everything in the store sells. Kids stuff, women's stuff, men's stuff. Backpacks are great for back to school, but we've had luck with them all year long. People like Nike. It's just what it is. It's the #1 brand in athletics for a reason. And we're lucky that Amazon lets us sell it and that they're reseller friendly in the stores. They do have limits. They limit 1 person to 10 per style, and they'll base that on the little number that's on the tag or on the shoe box. It's the style number. So even if you get different colors, it has to be 10 within that style, and it doesn't include the color number. So if you got 3 pink and 3 blue and 4 green, then that would be your limit. It's not per color, and it's not per size. So you have to be particular about what you're buying for that. But what a lot of us do is bring in multiple helpers. Like if you have a spouse or you have teenage kids, they won't let you use your 8-year-old. I tried. But teenage kids work, and they'll consider that a second transaction. So then you can get another 10.
Nice.
And then they also limit you to a total transaction per person of $5,000. But we don't hit that very often. Adidas is great as well. They're technically not reseller friendly on the corporate side, but all the stores are for the most part. So you just got to talk to the manager, ask them what their bulk buy policy is, and they'll usually tell you 10 per style. They don't do tax exemption for that reason, that corporate is not actually reseller friendly. So they keep it on the down low. But we've never had a problem with Adidas selling on Amazon. We've never been restricted or had inauthentic problems. So it's a good store. Clark's, you don't see often, but if you do have a Clark's in your outlet store area, they have great deals, and they're usually pretty high ROI. So check them out. They don't do tax exemption as well, because once again, corporate is not necessarily reseller friendly, but most stores are. ASICS, corporate has no problem with bulk buy, but they do limit you to 5 per style and 25 units per person per day. So once again, you can bring in multiple people to go beyond that, but it does limit you. So be pretty picky. Get the best ROI stuff, since you're limited to what you can get.
Good point.
Columbia, I'm not sure on their corporate policy, but the stores I go into seem perfectly fine. And they give 10% off to us bulk buyers. You just have to ask for it.
Wow. So when you go into these stores, you say that you're a bulk buyer instead of a reseller?
Yeah, we usually just go up to, if we've never been in there before, if we don't know anybody, we just find the manager. And if the manager's not there, we just talk to the clerk and say that we're looking to buy a lot of shoes or buy a lot of clothing. And do you have like buying limits, or do you have bulk buying limits? And most of them have seen enough of us that they're like, oh yeah, or oh no. Yeah. It's not a new concept.
Right.
Converse, we haven't done a ton of Converse, but they are there. And if you find good shoes in there, it's worth it. Converse is owned by Nike corporate, so they have a lot of the same policies. And then Under Armour, we've actually just recently, in the past few weeks, had a lot of luck with Under Armour. I used to not shop Under Armour much because they were known as very reseller unfriendly for a long time. And when you go in their stores, they just kind of feel like they're watching you. It's an awkward feeling in their stores. But recently, we finally talked to a manager in our local store, and he said he has no problem with it, just 5 per style. But they don't do tax exemption either, because it's probably against corporate policy, just like with Adidas.
Yeah.
So I would just say, go store by store. Ask the clerk or the manager if there's a limit to buying. Don't say, hey, I'm a reseller, or don't say, hey, I wanted to buy all your stuff and put it on Amazon or anything like that. Yeah.
All right, good. Hey, there's a couple questions. Is there any way one can use invoices to get ungated in Nike?
Not that I know of, unless, well, actually, if you can get a Nike invoice, but I don't know of any Amazon reseller that has a Nike invoice other than Amazon themselves. Nike wholesale accounts are like millions minimum order quantity.
Yeah. And it's not like you can use receipts from a Nike outlet store to get ungated.
No, they won't take Nike outlet receipts. They will for inauthentics.
Okay.
Or they won't for becoming unrestricted.
Okay. Here's another one. What do you think about selling stock lot of branded clothes that do not have all sizes? Like they might have large quantity of some size and might not have other sizes. So stock lots, maybe like liquidation. I'm not sure.
Do you mean liquidation and then you have to go through it all and separate it and hope you get some good stuff, or is that what you're talking about?
It says branded clothing. I don't know. Do you buy does anyone buy stock lots of clothing? I haven't.
Not anymore. We did twice, and we won't again. Actually did at off price, and we won't again.
Learn your lesson. Okay.
Yeah, there's just, well, first of all, there's no good chain of custody. So if you do get an inauthentic, Amazon won't take your liquidator's invoice. They'll be like, this doesn't tell me anything. This tells me that you got some pile of clothing from somebody's truck.
That's a good point.
Liquidators do not have a good chain of custody. So if you ask them, they'll be like, well, I don't know. I got it from Bob, and then Bob got it from Joe, and Joe got it from Mary.
Yeah.
It just doesn't prove authenticity very well.
It's true. Here's another question, then we'll move on to the next section. How would you handle someone ordering a shoe, wearing it, and then sending it back for a refund? I'm sure that happens a lot.
Oh yeah. Good question. I don't know if it was on any of the slides that the three of us are going to do. It's not on my slides, but I'm glad to put it up because returns are definitely higher with shoes and clothing.
Yep.
Average about 15%. So you have to incorporate that into your ROI. That's why we go for a higher dollar amount and higher ROI items, because for every return you can expect to lose $5 to $15 depending on how much that item costs, because Amazon takes out return processing fees and they don't return the FBA fee. You only get the referral fee back. So you immediately lose money. And then if it's used, which Amazon does not care about, then you also lose that item and you have to put it on eBay or something. It's not selling on Amazon anymore.
Yeah, so if they wear it and damage it so you can't sell it as new, then you basically have lost that.
Right.
Yep.
That doesn't happen often. I would say maybe 5% of those returns are unsellable when they get back, but there are some people out there. I mean, people will switch out their 5-year-old shoes for the same style and say they're just returning it, and you can tell that it's obviously been ran in on 20 races or something.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to happen as part of business, but don't let that deter you from getting into the shoe business if that's something that you want to get into. Just understand that it's going to happen. Yeah,
build it into your margin. Expect those.
All right, and what about a Skechers outlets? Have you ever done Skechers?
We used to do a lot of Skechers, not so much anymore. They just don't hold their value.
Okay.
Don't find very many that are worth selling.
Yeah,
and
I'm seeing that.
If they are, they tend to drop in price really fast.
All right. And I think there's another question. Do you recommend selling only these brands? I think that's just an example. These are just examples of brands that you sell.
These are examples of the outlets that I like to go to. Yeah, there's plenty of others out there. I know that some people go to Ralph Lauren, and Calvin Klein. Vanity Fair is a big outlet store that has a lot of brands in it as well. Lee jeans. We've sold Lee jeans.
Oh, that's good.
Stores. Yep.
And what kind of margins are you typically looking at?
If you want to speak margins, 25 to 30%.
Okay.
It equates to roughly. We keep it at 50% ROI. I know those are two different things. But
right.
When we're outsourcing, we look for no less than 50% ROI. We like even higher than that to account for returns.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's dive into the next section. We're already approaching an hour, so let's get into a few more things, and then we can keep on answering questions. So, all right.
Next slide. I think that's you, right?
Yeah, that's me. Replenishable clothing. Okay, so this was how I scaled, and when I was working full time, I came across the concept of buying clothes at Walmart, and you know, it was after the Christmas season, after Q4, and I sold a lot of toys and different things, and I was searching, like, what is the next thing I can sell? Because all the toys, I can't flip any of these, or very few. So I was running out of things to buy, and sourcing was tough. And my whole, I wasn't buying clearance, I was buying things at full retail and flipping it. And then I heard someone in some webinar somewhere mention something about clothing at Walmart, and light bulb went off. And that night I went out and I was in a Walmart searching every single piece of clothing there. And I found so much, it was crazy, that was full price that I could sell. And so what I did is based off that, I created a list of replenishable items that I could just go in and buy. And I didn't have to search and scan anymore. I had this list, and I can go and just fill up my cart based off the list and go buy it. So I can be in and out of the store and spend a couple $1,000s in a couple hours. So for me, I buy at full retail, and it's just a bonus if it happens to be on sale. My goal is to find things I can buy over and over and over again. Kind of like a mini wholesale opportunity, I guess. But just realize that the stores are going to change inventory. As you move from winter to spring, the pajamas that are Paw Patrol pajamas are going to go from the fleece style to maybe a short sleeve with long pants. And then in the summer, it's going to be short sleeve with short pants. So the Paw Patrol pajamas are going to continue to sell. It's just going to be a different style. So, and when the new style comes out, it's probably not going to be listed on Amazon yet, unless someone else beat you to it, which is great. Then you don't have to list it. So that's what I did, is I basically scaled using that model. And I focused on buying things that were licensed. That was the things that I could find were mostly licensed, from the kids' pajamas like Paw Patrol, PJ Masks, Trolls, all the popular TV shows and movies. Anything that Walmart was selling at the time that was a licensed product was typically selling pretty well. And then there's also non-licensed items that I would find as well. Unicorns were popular. I found some flippy sequin shirts last summer that were pretty popular, and put those on Amazon just as a test, and they blew up. These men's tie-dye cat pajamas, something that I think Josh wears when he's out shopping at Nike. But I don't know why people would buy them, but they did. And I was actually considering trying to source them or something similar from China, because I just couldn't believe these tie-dye cat head pajamas were selling like this.
I bought them all. That's right.
So for me, that's what I did, is I discovered clothing, and just basically would scan everything from the men's section to the boys and the girls, and then also the toddler, or the 2T section. I haven't really had much success in the baby section. When I create my listings, I typically have created them in the past through Seller Central. And recently I just got Helium 10 and have been using the tool there to create my listings and get better keywords. So let's see the next slide, Josh.
Okay.
Let's see. All right, so I created a shopping list. The goal for me was to create a list of replenishable items, so I didn't have to, again, go in and spend time scanning. I wanted to get in and out with multiple IKEA bags full of stuff. And then I also have shoppers now. So one thing I did before I quit my job is to scale, is I was spending all my time just buying, and then I had a small crew that would prep it on a Saturday. But I didn't have enough time to find new items to add to the list. So I hired a shopper and basically showed her how to use my list and do what I was doing. And so that gave me the freedom to be able to search out new items. So while she was shopping, for example, I would spend that same time that I used to shop in the stores scanning and trying to find new items to add to the list and continue to grow my inventory. I have the mile wide, inch deep kind of model. My shopping list shows me how many have sold in the last 30 days, how many of that same item I have at Amazon. I'll show you some examples in the next slide, but it will break it out by size. If I have a 2T, 3T, 4T, and a 5T, it'll tell me which one of those sizes have sold, how much I have at Amazon, and it'll give me an idea, or tell my shopper how much to buy to replenish, to make sure I have enough. My goal is to always have at least 30 days supply, because my theory was that if it's not at Amazon, I can't sell it. So I wanted to make sure I always have enough. I didn't want to see my inventory be zero for any items. I always wanted to have something there. I also use the same list to monitor experimental items. So I experimented with those flippy sequin shirts, and it was just an item. I just put it on my list, and oh, wow, it's starting to sell. Well, let me buy a couple more. Wow, they're starting to sell. Well, let me buy a lot more. So it's basically every time I buy something new, it's added to the shopping list. And then my repricer is updated with those new items. And I have a minimum profitable price and for every single item. And basically for me, most of these items cost, between $7 and $10. And so my minimum profit is between $3.50 and $5, profit there. So if it's selling at that minimum price, that means I'm happy with it. And I'll continue to buy more and more. If it doesn't sell at that minimum price, and then my shopping list tells me, hey, don't buy anymore because it's not selling. So for me, that's just a quick way to be able to say, okay, what do I need to buy? And when things are not available in the store anymore, then I just pull it off the list. And so the list is always being refreshed every single week. I add new stuff and I take stuff off. Let's go to the next slide so we can see some examples there. Someone is saying they can't see the slide. Clifford, if my face is really big, double click on the small part of it and see if that'll switch the screens for you. Okay, so here's some shopping list examples. These are currently on my shopping list. I have these Paw Patrol flip-flop shoes that just came out within the last couple of weeks. And you can see that, on the first column, the first green, well, I'll start on the left side. So we have the picture and then the ASIN and then the title. I have the ASIN in there just in case I need to scan it, because if the picture's kind of not clear, I can't tell exactly if the item I'm going to buy is there. And then the next column, which is green, it says buy. That tells my shopper how many I want them to buy. The next column says at AZ. It tells me how many is at Amazon. The next column is shipping. So it tells me how much I shipped in my last shipment because it hasn't got to Amazon yet. And then the last column is how many sold in the last 30 days. And so I just do a little bit of math there. And based off how much is sold, that tells me how much I want to buy. So in this case, I just bought, it looks like I probably just bought one of each of these flip-flops sandals, and all but the size 5-6 have sold. So now I'm going to buy more and continue to replenish them over the summer. And here's a picture of a men's shirt with a cat on it, big paw cat. And I bought a few of those just to test them out. And they're selling. So cool. And so I'm going to buy, it looks like I have 5 more of the size small, 5 of the medium, 3 of the large, and 5 of the extra large. And again, with these other pajamas here, these sloth pajamas, this is not a licensed product. I had no idea, but you know what, sloth, that can be popular. So let me buy them and just try them out. And I've sold a couple of them of the 7/8 and the 14/16. So I'm going to continue to buy more. The other sizes haven't sold yet. So
quick question for you, Chris.
Yeah.
When this is connected to your Amazon account, right? So as soon as something sells, it's automatically updating the spreadsheet to say, hey, I sold 5 of these, so I needed to buy 10 more. Right?
Not quite automatic. So I just pulled down the report. It's in the report section under the sales history, or I'm trying to remember exactly where it's located. It's your 30-day sales history report. Okay. I pull that in and I drop it into the spreadsheet. I've already got all the formulas set up. And so once I drop it into the spreadsheet, it populates the number. So it actually takes just a few minutes to update it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
Yeah. Someday if I hire a programmer, I could probably have someone make it pretty simply. And the last example here is these Minecraft boxer briefs. Same thing, you know, I'm just selling a handful of them every month, and it tells me, hey, I need to buy more smalls and mediums, but you know, don't get any more of those extra smalls and larges. They're not selling at this point. So again, that's just for me. Again, I'm wide on all sorts of products. The shopping list is anywhere from 12 to 15 pages at times, and it has, you know, hundreds of items on it with all the variation sizes. So I can go in and you know, some pages might only have a couple things to buy. Other pages I need to buy almost every item on there because I've sold. Am I creating listings for all of these? No. I'm kind of a lazy seller, so I will often wait for other sellers to list the items. I'll kind of keep an eye on them for a week or two when they first pop up in Amazon. However, if I know that they're going to sell, and it's a brand new Paw Patrol pajama or something like that, I know it's going to sell, I'm going to go ahead and create the listing. And I can do it in like 15, 20 minutes. So it's not too bad. Yeah, let's see the next slide, Josh, I think. Yeah, but we're all waiting for you to create the listing. Is that what you said, Josh? Awesome. All right. So then, oh yeah, we're going to go to Mikkel. She's going to school us on online arbitrage. Is there any questions that I missed in the chat while I was blabbering on here?
Hey, Chris, I have one real quick that might help everybody else as well.
Sure.
When you're deciding on whether or not to rebuy an item from the list, do you take into account if it's still profitable? Like, do you look at, like, do you have a minimum dollar amount or anything that you want it to continue to make?
Yeah. So if it's sold, if the item has sold on the list, that means it's sold at my at least my minimum profit level. And so then I'm comfortable buying more. Now, someone else might have come in and undercut me in the meantime. So then if I buy it, it might sit there for a couple more weeks. Once they sell out, then my stuff will sell again. If it continues to sit there, my shopping list will just tell me not to buy anymore, and it'll sit there until they sell out.
Okay, so you have no problem waiting for till somebody else goes away. Yeah.
Right. All right. Was there anything else here? Do you have rank criteria? Oh, do you have rank criteria? How do you evaluate a product? I do. I prefer, like, if I don't know it and it's listed and it has some history, I want to see it under. I'd like to see it around 100,000 or less in the clothing category. But a lot of the stuff that I'm buying doesn't have a history. You know, it just came out. It's the brand new Paw Patrol shoes for kids, and you know, it's not even listed, or it just got listed, so it doesn't even have a rank. Well, I know that's going to sell based off of my own selling experience, so I'm going to go ahead and buy, you know, one of each size, two of each size, and just see what happens. That's been my strategy, and it's been working for me. You know, if I see that it has some history and it's been on Amazon a while and it has all the variations in stock and it's not selling, it has a poor rank, a 500,000 rank or higher, then I'm not going to touch it. But I'm typically pretty aggressive with inventory, especially if I know from my gut and my past experience that it's going to sell. It just hasn't hit that rank yet. You know, sometimes it's brand new listing and it hasn't sold enough for the rank to get where it's going to be. And then within a couple of weeks or a month, then that gets under that 100,000 and it's flying off the shelves. That makes sense? What do you do if you bought it and send it in and it doesn't sell? Then I'll liquidate it. Typically I look at my inventory that's 6 months old. That's at Amazon. I'm all FBA, so everything's in Amazon. And I'll look at anything that hasn't sold and I'll drop prices on it if I want to clear it out. If it's just a couple pieces here and there, then I'll let it ride for another 6 months into the next season. Let's say it's swimwear, for example. Like I said, I have swimwear that I bought last summer that has been selling since January. So I just let it ride because I knew it was going to sell. And right now, instead of selling for, you know, $17, $18 and making, you know, $4 of profit, it's selling for $25, $29. Sequins, yes, but not on men's clothing. I haven't sold sequins on men's clothing, but on girls' clothing, kids' clothing, even on swimwear, I've seen it, and it's selling everywhere. Do I have a prep center? No, I prep everything in my, used to be in my garage, now in my warehouse. I have a small team that comes in and they do it all. Typically on a Saturday, they'll come in and they're all teenagers basically, and they'll come in and crush it. All right, Mikhail, why don't you dive into online arbitrage?
Hi, everyone. All right. So yes, this is my favorite stuff is licensed clothing, as Chris was telling everybody. You really get comfortable once you try, and then it's getting very easy to buy. When you go to the stores or you source online, you know what to buy because you know what license are selling. So I have people asking me all the time what I'm selling. So I'm saying I'm selling licensed kids clothing. And the first question I get is, do you have the license? No, I don't have the license, but when you buy them from the wholesalers or the stores, it's okay to sell them. You can go ahead and list them or join other people listing and sell all these brands. There is some brands that is very, very difficult. I'm trying already for a while to sell LOL clothes, but they keep on blocking my listings. so LOL, I don't sell it. Like I do sell it, but on my website. So yeah, there is some, but not a lot. So everything you buy, let's say Disney stuff, Paw Patrol clothing, Frozen clothing, shoes, you probably will find them already listed on Amazon, or you will be able to list it yourself. So I found after selling for so many years in different categories, I really got into my favorite place, and that's the licensed clothing. I still feel like there is no much competition. What do you think, Chris? Do you feel there's a lot of competition?
There's getting to be more and more competition, yes.
But we still sell, so it's not so bad.
Yeah, I mean, you might have a listing that has 10 other sellers on it, and that's kind of, to me, that's kind of a lot in clothing. So
yeah, yes. Usually the average sellers in a listing, I would say it's 4 or 5. Yeah. So that's not a lot. And the beautiful thing about the clothing is that every item you're gonna buy, there is a limited quantity out there. So if you're patient, in 1, 2, 3 weeks, whoever is selling it with you, they're not gonna have anymore, and they're not gonna be able to get anymore. So I don't have the problem with that, mostly because I do merchant, so I don't need to worry about the storage fees. So sometimes I sit on something, and eventually everything sells. Especially all the license, like you said, all the swimwear from last year, I have the same right now. So everything is selling, and all the new swimwear from this year is selling very good right now. So how do you know what to find, how to find the right items? So when you go to the store or you're trying to source online, so I would say you need to pay attention to all the latest movies. So right now there's a big buzz about all the new Marvel movies. There's a woman character, and I already saw a lot of clothing and backpacks with the woman character. I don't know her name. Do you know her name?
Captain Marvel.
But they have a woman character right now.
Yeah, that's her name.
Yeah?
It's a good movie, yeah.
All right, yeah. All right, so I know there's a big buzz around it. So definitely I would go ahead, and if I go somewhere and I see these items, I will scan them, or I will, for me, I don't have the issue to just buy some and test it and try it. I prefer to find items that are not on Amazon, because with licensed merchandise, people are searching for it. So you need to know that you can list it and it will sell. So if you go to Amazon and there's a new Dumbo movie coming out right now, and you go to Amazon and you search for Dumbo t-shirts and there's none, that exactly what you need to sell. You can go to all kind of tools and type those keywords and see if people are searching for them. And if you see there's people are searching for these items and they're not on Amazon, so this is a great items to try. So I don't do much keyword research. I just know the license. I just know what's popular. Also, one more thing you're gonna get experience with is the right sizes. So each character have the most popular sizes. I would say Paw Patrol is size 30 and 40. What do you say, Chris?
Yeah, I agree. You know, 5T sells pretty well too.
Yeah. The same with 5. I think size 5 is also selling very good. Not as 3, but it's still selling. So if I will see size 5, I will definitely buy it. So a little bit more, just pay attention about the movies. I already saw the other day, I went to Walmart and I saw they have a outfit set of Secret Life of Pets. Did you see that, Chris?
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, here's something for you.
Woohoo!
All right, so this movie, the first one was very good, and I was selling a lot of clothing of the first movie, so I'm sure the second one will do really good with clothing and shoes. Toy Story. I saw sneakers also at Walmart. Did you see that?
Yeah, I listed
Toy
them.
Story?
Yep.
Yeah, did you try them already?
I got them on. They're already selling.
All right, I'm giving here too much. So yes. So yeah, just pay attention. Usually what's in the stores. So another thing you need to know is that the stores, and if you know how to buy wholesale, they will have all the merchandise at least 3 to 6 months before the movie is coming out. So that's the right time to buy it and prepare, and you will be surprised. Those items will sell before the movie is coming out. And when the movie is coming out, the sales gonna get even better. And sometimes they get even better when the DVD is coming out. Yeah,
that's a great point. I'll come across maybe like a new Spider-Man. All of a sudden, there's a bunch of Spider-Man clothing. Then I'll ask my son, "Hey, is there a new Spider-Man movie or something coming out?" And he'll go, "Oh yeah, it comes out in like 2 months." Okay,
yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's how I keep on top of the latest pop culture stuff, is what's being sold in the stores.
Yes. So yeah, when you have the kids, it's easy to know. So I have 2 little ones. So this is why I love the licensed merchandise, because I really know, I see what they're watching on Disney Channel, YouTube, and so and so. Just give me a second. I need to connect my computer. Chris, can you give me a minute?
Yeah, I'll fill in. So where are we at? So we're talking about, so other popular things are video games. We have, Fortnite. I have not had luck listing Fortnite stuff. I'm restricted as well. But Mario's popular. Minecraft I have success with. And Star Wars, Superman, or Spider-Man, sorry. Batman, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, those are always popular. It's interesting. Superman does not sell for me. Batman always does. Whatever, even if there's not a movie out, I buy Batman stuff and it sells.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. You hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Batman is much, much more popular than Superman. But around Christmas time, I will sell a lot of pajamas, Superman pajamas.
Ah.
Yeah. All right. So the same with trends. So with kids, clothing is a lot of trends. So right now, all the sequins, like Chris was talking, you will see it everywhere you go, every store. All the t-shirts are flippy sequins. So if you see it everywhere, you should pay attention. Yes. Unicorns, Cats, they put like a unicorn on the cats now. It's called I don't know, they call it a magical wow, something like that. They have one character now. It's getting really popular.
Yep.
And mermaids are really, really popular. You will see that all over. Mermaids on the swimwear, on clothing, on pajamas. All right.
Good stuff.
Move to the next slide. All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about shopping online, where to shop. So every big retailer today have an online store. I like to shop online. It's just a little easier for me than to go to the store. So I love Walmart. Walmart is being very, very good. You know that Walmart also have, you can apply for a tax exam online. So you do it one time, and then every time when you shop, you don't pay taxes when you shop online.
That's awesome.
So that's really good, yeah. Kohl's, Target, JCPenney's. Zulily is a great website. It's the daily deals. They have like deals for 3-4 days, but every once in a while they have a day when they have licensed t-shirts for $4.99. So I like to grab those.
Wow.
Because that's the same price as wholesale. So $4.99 will be all the Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Frozen, Elmo, and Thomas the Train, all the really popular t-shirts. I like to do my research on Google Shopping. So when you look for specific items, it will tell you where it is. So if I search for something, let's say Jojo Siwa pajamas on Google Shopping, it will show me all the pajamas all over. So on Target, on Walmart, on Kohl's, and then you can see the prices, if they have any kind of sales. So there's really cool website. You can find deals. Are you using Brad's Deals website? Because that's
no, I've never heard of Brad's Deals. I use a number of different sites, but I've never heard of Brad's Deals.
No, it's really good. They have a lot of Nike deals and Adidas. So that's a good website to go every day. The same as Hip to Save and Silk Deals.
Yeah.
So those are good to really just find some good deals, and then you go to Amazon and you're trying to see if there's some profit in there. So really popular brands, like just said, is Under Armour, Nike, Puma, Adidas. There's another one called Marika. It's for activewear for women. You can find it everywhere, and it's selling very good. When you shop online, you can also maximize your profit. You can use cashback. You can use coupons, gift cards. I'm using websites like Ebates, Retail Me Not, Honey, and PriceBlink to get as much cash back as possible and coupons. So I like this part. I think I'm probably Ebates paying me very good the last couple of years. At least like 300-400 every like quarter. So that's nice. You know, I usually take this money and buy something nice for myself. So again, you shop at home, you can use your tools, you can use your research. You can also see the sizes like we saw before. For each item, there will be better sizes. Some sizes don't sell. The sizes they don't sell, usually I will buy smaller quantity, just maybe 1 or 2 just to have all the variation. Many times I will go on Walmart online and I will find a lot of styles they don't have in the stores. So that's really cool because then usually I wouldn't have this item on Amazon. So I will go ahead and list it if they have like a new style of, I would say, Paw Patrol pajamas, or a girl's dress, Paw Patrol girl's dress. So I will go ahead and I will list it on Amazon. So that's the best part for me is really to find all these really cool items that are not on Amazon. And when I go ahead and I list it, I usually don't have competition. So I can sell and, till I don't have any more.
That's awesome.
So here's a little example. I just found that yesterday, so you guys probably can still find it. So that's Minecraft pajamas, size. They actually have all the sizes available online right now, but I like size 6'7". That seems like the most popular size. So when I go to Amazon, I will see that size is selling for, was what, the next slide, 23 and 80. So that's a nice profit. Yep. You guys also need to remember that with clothing, your shipping cost is very small to ship items to Amazon. If you do FBA, you can fit maybe 100 pieces of clothing in a medium-sized box. That's usually what I think I can fit. Right, Chris?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I actually use them to stuff around other items that I'm selling. Like if I have some toys or different other things, I use clothing as packing material in my boxes.
I know. I do the same thing. So again, you have the clothing, you just put it around the box and put the toys and the other stuff.
Yep.
So it will come out something like 20 cents maybe to ship one item.
Yep.
Amazon, and you can also use the small and light, and then your FBA shipping cost will be at least like $1 less than the regular FBA fees.
Yes, that's true.
So I think it's in this kind of item, you probably will end up with a profit of $5-6. So that's nice. That's a good profit.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. The next one I found, I really love this website. You can really find a lot of really good merchandise, a lot of brands. And they know what's trendy. They have a lot of licensed clothing. You would be surprised because when you go to Nordstrom Rack in the store, you're not going to find those items, but you only can find them online.
Ah.
Yes. So you should really try those websites. So this is a Jojo Siwa, again, sequin, a high top sneaker. I really love this one. Even if I wouldn't go ahead and find it on Amazon, it's something I will definitely buy because I know Jojo Siwa is very popular. Sequins is very popular. And this color is very trendy right now. So everything is rose, all kind of like pinks. They are very, very trendy. But I did found it on Amazon. Size 1 was available on Nordstrom Rack. Size 1 is selling for $52.99. So I think that's really nice margin here.
Nice.
So one of the things that I like to do is to go to Google Shopping. It's actually giving you a lot of results that you wouldn't get if you go to Walmart.com and you're gonna type Jojo Siwa clothing. You might get completely different result. With Google Shopping, I think the results are more accurate. It means it will give you the right result, will give you the right. So I did a search on Google and the search is Jojo Siwa clothing Walmart. So as you see, all the results are gonna give me items at Walmart. And you see all these items, the prices are really good. So you can see this is really good prices. So I'm gonna go to Amazon and I'm gonna type the same search result. And Can you go to the next slide? All right, so here we go. You can see that the same dresses, right? And this is the same search. So you go ahead on Google Shopping, and you don't, but on Amazon, of course, you don't write Jojo Siwa clothes in Walmart, but you just do the same search. And here we go. We already found 2 matches. Those 2 dresses, each one of them was selling for $14 on Walmart.com. And on Amazon, they're selling between 34 to 45. So just a quick search like that will let you find a lot of good stuff that you can sell.
It's good stuff.
Yes. So I'm doing wholesale, I think already maybe for 8 years. When I just started selling on Amazon, everything I used to buy, I used to do RA, everything I found in the store and was selling good, I just take the package, see the manufacturer name, and just give them a call. And back then it was very simple to get account with wholesalers. So I do have a lot of wholesale account. And right now, since I'm doing clothing, so I also have a lot of accounts with wholesalers for licensed clothing and with the manufacturers themselves. So that's really helping me to find all this merchandise I'm selling. I'm getting emails and they're telling me, showing me all the new collection that's coming out. So usually everything for the summer be already available to order in December. So in December, I can place my orders for all the merchandise that come in February or March for the summer. So that's really helping because you will notice that people shop very early. A lot of people shop really early. So right now, like we talked about, swimwear is just so hot. It's just selling so good right now. I think right now, maybe 80% of my orders is swimwear.
Wow.
So that's a lot. I did get a lot of swimwear. I got like in just one order, like 1,500 pieces. So I do have a lot of swimwear, and it's selling good. So I'm happy. So to find a wholesaler's account, the best place is to go to a trade show. We were talking about it in our group. There's a trade show that's called Off Price, and it's twice a year. It's in February and July. We actually, Chris came and a lot of guys from our group came, so that was really fun to see everybody. And for everybody, it was the first time. Everybody got some wholesaler account. They placed some orders. So that's really the right place to start your wholesale. And you can find a lot of wholesalers. They have a licensed merchandise, and a lot of them, the items they have, nobody else have. So that's really cool because you can go ahead and sell it on Amazon, and you probably will have maybe 1 or 2 other people selling it with you. So that's nice. Again, you build a relationship. So a trade show, it's a great place to go and meet the wholesalers, their representative, and just build a relationship with them and just be on their email list and know that your update with everything is coming out. So again, you want to go to a trade show so we went to the trade show in February, and that's when we got all our swimwear and summer pajamas and kids clothing and kids shoes. And in July, usually it will be the right time to source for the winter clothes. So on July, I will focus on finding a lot of pajamas for Christmas, for kids and for the whole family. Pajamas is a huge seller for Christmas. you can sell only pajamas and make really nice profit just from pajamas. So this is like a really big tip. So pajamas are really doing great around Christmas time. This is like a little bit, just a few examples of things I can find in a trade show. This is a nightgown. It's Hello Kitty nightgown. The wholesale price was $2.50. Those are overstocks, so you need to get some quantity. So I think I got like 100 of those. I had no experience with Hello Kitty. It was sitting in my garage for a few weeks till I was like, okay, it's time to list it. So I went ahead and we listed that item, and I was surprised. It started selling like 10 of those a day. It was on November. By December, by Christmas, I had none left.
Nice.
We're selling for $40.99. I even raised the price for $19.99. It was still selling very good. So that was a really nice profit on these pajamas. Sneakers, some kid sneakers. Wholesale price was $11. We're selling for $28.99. Again, selling very good. It sells every day. It's really great item. And the last item is a men's swimwear. Wholesale price was $5, selling for $19.99. Again, this item sell all year round, especially before 4th of July, like I would say May, June.
Yep.
It will get a lot of sales. So that's a really great item for me. So,
Me too. I picked up some of those at off price as well. Some of those similar style. Yeah, they're starting to sell.
Starting to sell, yes.
Yep, it's good.
Good.
Is that the last slide?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we made it.
Yes, we made it.
All right, Barrington, we'll let you take over.
All right, guys. You're back on. Was that the last slide?
That was it.
All right, and we got the questions in there. No,
that was nice.
We had almost 100 on here live, and I saw a lot of persons say, "Will I be able to get the Excel spreadsheet? Will I be able to get all?" We have a coaching program that Chris and Michal and Josh runs, and that's monthly. And I'm going to put the website in there. It's www.balanceyourfba.com. And we have a $7 7-day trial. So you guys can try it out. And if you like it, you could stay. This is something that can really scale your business. And as Chris was just mentioning a while ago, this is something that, you learn so much even as the instructor. That's how good this thing is.
That's so true. Yep.
You learn a ton even as the instructor. So we really, if you're thinking about doing this for your business, and you can get comments from people who are in the group. If you're in the chat right now, you can tell persons how you feel about this group. I mean, this is something that can really help to scale your Amazon business, selling clothes, selling shoes, but the variation, that one webinar alone will pay for the whole year.
Jeez, I can tell you, Barrington, man, Michal's the real deal. I finally got to meet her in the flesh in Las Vegas, and she blew my mind with what she was doing with Wholesale and how long she's been doing it. So
it was great seeing you at ASD.
It was so nice to see you and just learn from you, and hopefully I was able to teach you some stuff too. So yes. I think we really networked. We were able to help each other out.
Yes.
There's the trade show. Laura was asking, was a trade show called Off Price? ASD, I know, was in Las Vegas. Was Off Price in Las Vegas too?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yes, it's twice a year. It's usually 1 or 2 weeks before ASD. So it's always around, actually, no, it's like 3-4 weeks before ASD. So ASD and Off Price are shows that are twice a year. ASD also have a lot of clothing. There's a whole section for clothing. So ASD is a great show to start too.
And I mean, just what Michal mentioned a while ago with that pajamas could make you so much more. I mean, my wife, she's like, she was here like, really? I mean, that is something, that's information that you guys are getting. Right now, you could jump out and just go use this information and make profits. If you want to join the group, I just posted the link in there, and you can jump in there, see what's going on in that WhatsApp chat. And I can tell you guys, there is so much information being shared there. Are there any other questions? We have a few more minutes. Are there any other questions before these guys get off of here?
Here's your chance, guys. Don't miss it.
Enjoyed the content, what was shared today. Yep. You can just post in the chat. If you have a question, you can post your question. Let me see if there's any questions in this Q&A. Oh, Jared mentioned.
Yeah, I think somebody was asking if it's easier to get a wholesale account in off-price or ASD.
Oh, that's a good question.
The same for clothing. They're usually, you will find a lot of companies, they will be in boat shows. So those companies usually will be very easy to get an account with.
Nice.
Different than big brands of toys, and with clothing, it's really easy to get accounts. With the manufacturers, like getting accounts with manufacturers, that's just, for that, you're probably gonna need to have your own website.
Mike was asking Lance if there's any discount codes for the group. I mean, $7 for 7 days, you can try it out. And it's $267 for 3 months afterwards. Guys, I mean, I think that is like a steal.
Yeah.
That's towards your business. You can write that off. That's a business decision right there. So it's something that, I mean, I think is reasonably priced. I mean, people are getting so much value for, you know, their money. So this is something, Mike, I can tell you, it's going to change your business. Can you imagine having this kind of resource to ask questions? Hey, what do I do here? How do I create a variation for this? And everybody is chiming in the group. So this is something you want to jump on. No, I mean, it's probably going to get more expensive coming up here in Q4. I just posted the link in there. I think we took all the questions. Thank you all for coming on. Josh, Mikhail, and Chris, Lance. Sold. Done deal. You say I'm all in, baby.
Mikey.
Yeah, come on in, join us. We have a lot of fun and learn a lot from each other.
It's in there, Chris, man. The value you guys are providing and what you're giving away. Sometimes I'm like, man, these guys are giving everything. I mean, there's actual product shopping list, everything.
Especially that shopping list. I think once you learn how to use that shopping list and you get shoppers, that's scaling. That's instant scaling because you can go right across the US with that.
You know, Barrington, I've never felt more confident about arbitrage, online arbitrage, than I have this year. I don't know what it is about this year than previous years. I just think these groups are really helping me to
It's more information, things that we wouldn't even think of.
What's that, Bear?
If I get a tax exempt on Walmart, that alone will be worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Lance can help you get that with ease.
Yeah, that's easy. You're showing me.
You got to get tax exempt. It's so easy to get.
I thought, Janet, Janet, you have to be in this group. You have to be in this group. I mean, Janet is a big number. You have to be in this group. You want to double those numbers that you're doing, you have to be in this group.
Plus,
Bruce, do you get a lot of returns for clothes? That's Bruce's question.
Yeah, like Josh was saying earlier, it's, in the 10 to 15% range, So it happens, you have people that'll buy a 3T and a 4T and they'll send the 4T back, So that's just part of the clothing business.
That's it. Clothing and shoes, that's a part of the business. So you have those nice numbers, higher average selling prices so that you can definitely, roll with bigger. Because at the end of the day, you want to look and say, hey, this is something that's going to, if you get returns, then you have bigger selling prices that you can buffer those returns. So that's just a part of the game. But, I mean, you make more profits. Bottom line.
Oh, yeah, way more.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. I think we have all the questions. Let me see in the Q&A if there's any.
I think looks like we covered them.
Hop in, guys. Hop in, man. It's 7-day trial, $1 a day. Come on, you got to try it out.
All right. So I'm going to post this one more time. So I just saw, I think Mike just hopped in.
Mikey.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you in the groups. If you have any other questions, you can also post them in the Sourceaholics group. Clifford, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks.
Thank you all for being on this webinar, and we will talk to you again. The replay for this will be available, and I will send this out tomorrow. So thank you all for jumping on, and take care until the next time. Remember, we have on Wednesday evening, we have the webinar with your software, Lance.
Oh, Inventory Lab.
Inventory Labs. And they have promised us something huge. So you want to jump on for that. Inventory Labs is coming on, and they're going to teach us how to use the software. And they've promised to really give us some information that probably, even persons using Inventory Labs for a long time will not even know.
There's a lot of things she told me today, Barrington, and she was so excited that I had no idea about some of the stuff in the back office that you can do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tools that people aren't looking at. They're using it basically just to send their stuff out, and they're not looking at some of the tools in the Inventory Lab. They're very, very helpful.
I think this is going to be a lot of stuff that can help you too, Chris, because I think they do the list, the buy list, and all that on there. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out for sure.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll get this replay out tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.